Hello, Gemini. Oh, what? That's not cute. Hello, Gemini, and happy May. I hope you guys are doing very well. This reading is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And of course, any cross watchers dealing with the Gemini. So let's see, what does Gemini most need to know? What does Gemini most need to know? What does Gemini most need to know? Well, geez. All right. Just 85 cards on the ground. How about one more, please? What is Gemini? All right. So we get understanding, playfulness, and morality. Understanding, playfulness, and morality. So Gemini, it looks like you're at the end of a cycle, and it looks like you are being asked to close down, shut down that cycle. And while you're doing it, in the process of it, to become a little bit more lighthearted. So in other words, if you've just gone through a breakup, if you're changing jobs, if you're moving, it can be stressful. It can be intense. And if you are feeling overwhelmed, and you're keeping those feelings of overwhelm going, like just even thinking in your head, oh my God, I'm so tired. Oh my God, I cannot wait for this to be over. You are being asked to maybe shift the wording that you're using for the cycle closing and focus on where you're going now as opposed to commenting on reality, so that where we're going is the focus, and where we're going becomes a little bit more energized with playful energy, which is fantastic. If there is something from the past that maybe you are feeling a wee bit guilty about, it is also time to shut it down in that cycle, because you cannot take the old energy with you to the new experience. So whatever that was, it's time to just release it. So what does Gemini need to know? Oh, I was just going to say with their love life. And well, there that is. Womp. There it is. Anything else for Gemini for their love life? Anything else? Okay. So it looks like there's going to be a reigniting of love if you are in a current relationship, or a new love coming in. And it does look like it's a contracted relationship with the past lives. Let's see, is there anything that Gemini needs the heads up about this love relationship? Patience, right? That's fantastic. Yeah, and this could be with how things are going, with how you perceive them to be going, with the relationship in and of itself. And this is a really good card to get, I think, which is just about while you are in the beginning processes of it, or while you are reigniting the relationship that you currently have, be mindful that as things begin to shift and change, they're not going to look like maybe you think they should, but allow the universe to surprise and delight you with what things can become in this new love, interest, dating, relationship situation. Is there anything that Gemini needs to know with career, finances? Is there anything that Gemini needs to know? Well, we're going to take them both, and that is the dream and projections. Is there anything else that Gemini needs to know? Is there anything else? Okay, so we get the dream, projections, and awareness. The dream, projections, and awareness. So Gemini, you might be familiar with this term, hard-headed. You might be a little hard-headed or slow to change or shift, but these cards are saying if you're choosing to experience an upgrade in your career and in your finances, you're going to have to let go of the old ways of being from the past. So if you're putting something on the situation that simply isn't there, it's going to take a lot of courage and honesty to look at yourself and to say, gosh, you know what, I am doing that. I am creating the situation to be maybe a little bit more difficult than it actually is. And then you're being invited to just become really present with yourself. Is this how you want to continue to be for the rest of your life? Is there something that you can interject into your career, your finances, that maybe you haven't before? And maybe you haven't even thought of. Where's that going to come from? Meditation. It's excellent for beginning to perceive reality more as it is, as opposed to how we are. And a lot of times that's what's going on when we get the projections card, is that we are putting something on a situation that simply isn't there. And through meditation, we can gain a new insight or a different perspective. And then these cards are just saying to you, it is time to focus on what you do want. So a lot of times we go, gosh, I would like a better career. Gosh, I would like more money. And how do we know that? Because we experience the absence of it. But I feel like where most people linger too long is in the absence. So they're saying to the universe, where is it? What's going on? And that's the energy that is being projected out. I don't have something. So do your very best to be mindful about where your thoughts and where your intention and your attention is, right? Because if we're telling the universe we don't have something, the universe is just going to keep us in this loop of not having. So just be mindful about that. And let's see if we can get you any type of advice here. Is there anything that Gemini needs to know? Is there any type of advice for Gemini? Anything that Gemini needs to know? All right, we'll take it. So we get the all is well. Archangel Jeremiel, everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. Right. Well, that's fantastic. So keep doing what you're doing, but also be mindful that I love that card because it's saying all is well. So even the things that you feel like, oh my gosh, well, this is a nightmare, it is happening for your soul's growth. So it's beautiful to understand that this problem or the seeming problem is actually assisting you to have greater alignment. So Gemini, if there is a question that you would like to know the answer to, yes or no, just hold that question in your mind. Yes or no. Hold your question. All right, so we get the Page of Cups, and that is a yes. So fantastic. That was a great reading. Just reminding you that if you want to experience a little bit more, it's time to close down the cycle from the past so that you can begin to focus on what is coming in new. And then through meditation, you will gain a new perspective. So, man, I wish that was my reading. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the reading. And if you did, in fact, like the reading, would you please like, share, and follow? It really does help the channel so much. Happy May, Gemini, and thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.